This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. I'm Gary Dick. A release of gases at the BP Whiting oil refinery that caused a pungent odor that could be smelled as far east as St. Joseph County could lead to another violation for the plant. Here's Inside Indiana Business reporter Alex Brown.
The Indiana Department of Environmental Management told our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana a severe storm caused a partial power outage at the refinery, which led to the refinery gas flares being flooded with excess gases. Those gases were released outside the allowable emission limits, according to IDEM Public Information Officer Barry Sneed. The excess gas was primarily comprised of sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. However, Sneed said gases are currently not being produced or sent to the flares at the refinery. He said IDEM will continue to monitor the situation and work with BP to ensure that the refinery is operating in compliance with state and federal regulations. The incident came just over a month after BP Products North America agreed to pay a $40 million penalty and install technology to control releases of benzene and other contaminants at the refinery, as well as invest around $197 million in improvements. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana is doing better than most states when it comes to hiring. That according to a new study released last week by personal finance website WalletHub. The report ranked Indiana as being the seventh least challenged state when it comes to filling openings. States that fell below Indiana in the struggle rankings include Washington, California, Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York, as well as Washington, D.C. Purdue University has selected Elizabeth Topp as the inaugural director of the William D. Young Advanced Manufacturing of Pharmaceuticals Institute. That's beginning in August. Topp currently serves as a professor in the Department of Industrial and Physical Pharmacy and the Davidson School of Chemical Engineering at Purdue. From the state's number one source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
For 25 years, we've had the honor of telling the story of Indiana business. More than 1,300 shows, 8,000 interviews. We've traveled from Valparaiso to Versailles, Fort Wayne to Fort Branch, and everywhere in between. And we are just getting started. Our team is passionate about Indiana business because your story is worth telling. Join us every week as we travel the state to bring you Indiana's story. Inside Indiana Business, 25 years and counting.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America for the third consecutive year, and Indiana is getting in on the craze. Florida-based Ace Pickleball Club has selected Fort Wayne as one of its franchise locations with an expected opening late next year. Brandon Mackey, co-founder of the website Pickleheads, talks about the sport's rapid growth.
A lot of the activity shifted outdoors to tennis courts and public parks. And I think that drew a lot of awareness to it because people saw it being played out of their local public park. They got curious about it. They wanted it to play. And that kind of sparked an explosion of interest, new facilities being built. Indianapolis has for sure space to build those facilities in a way that you can't really build in New York or Los Angeles.
Indiana University's Jewish Culture Center is receiving a significant endowment to widen its scope and develop programming to combat anti-Semitism and better student and community understanding of the Jewish faith. The university says the gift will supercharge the center's ability to be a welcoming and educational hotspot on campus for students through an expansion of its events, classes, and services. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand.